Right, I'll just show you what I've been doing. I've glued the top onto the sides. Now, I've used these go bars again to put some pressure on. It doesn't need an awful lot of pressure because it fits pretty well, but just enough to give it a little bit of tension, hopefully to give it that sort of drum characteristic when it's on. Now the problem is with gluing the top is that obviously what you have to do is you have to put your glue all around the rim, then rub it off because you don't want too much glue, because what will happen is that the glue will actually ooze out and it'll run down the sides of the guitar. It doesn't matter on the outside because I can easily get it off, and as it happens, because this is the top, there's no bottom or back on the guitar as yet. I can clean up any glue that's on the inside. So what I'm going to do is take off the it's been sitting here for 24 hours now. I'm going to take off the go bars and see what it's like. Make sure it's glued properly all the way around. So I'm just going to switch this off for a second. These pieces of wood are for two reasons. I make sure I don't mark the top when I put the pressure on it with the go bars, and the other thing is to spread the tension across the guitar a little bit better. Ideally I could do with more of these, but I think I can get away with what I've got. And we'll soon see anyway. I'm doing this live so you can see it as it happens, mistakes and all. That's all the bars off. Let's take all these cords off. Let's see what it looks like. Now we have got a problem. That side's glued lovely, no problems whatsoever. For this side I've got a gap. Now that isn't well, it's not insurmountable. I can easily cure that, but not the news I wanted. I'll see what's happened. Right, I'll just show you. As you can see, this is one of the problems you get, is this glue that runs down. But that can easily be cleaned off, because I say I haven't got the back of it on yet. The problem I have is here. I don't know if you can see this. It's slightly misaligned as it's gone on. That side's fine, this side isn't, so I'm going to have to take the top off and do it again, which is a bit of a bummer, but unfortunately, but it's better to get it right. So I'm going to spend the next hour or so getting the top off and just cleaning it up. Okay, I've managed to get the top off. It wasn't that difficult. I've just smoothed it all down again and repositioned it. What had happened is, I've tried to do it here, and when you're trying to do it on this system here, you work in half blind, and unfortunately that's never a good way to work. So I've gone back to the system of using these spool clamps. I've just set it up to make sure everything fits, which it does. It will need a bit more cleaning up, because I say that I've got sort of bits of glue here and there which will need cleaning off. But you'd expect that anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. So I'm going to attempt to glue this again using the spool clamps. I've got a lot more than this, obviously. I've got a box full of them here to put all the way around, just to hold it in place. Not too much pressure, just enough to hold it in place. Leave it again overnight, take them off, and then we'll start cleaning up the inside, and then we'll put the back on. Hopefully it'll all be okay. I'm just putting these spool clamps on. I didn't really want to do it this way, if I'm honest. I wanted to use the go bar, so I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure that the rim you know, the actual sides of the guitar weren't going to be deformed. But I had to take out the mould to do this. This is a more satisfactory way of clamping. It's more precise and more reliable, but there is always a danger that you can distort the rim, which is the last thing you want to do, really. So I'm doing it carefully. I'm not putting too much pressure on. I'm putting one each, you know, put one this side, and I mash it up with one across on the other side. So hopefully this will do it. And of course, I know it's lined up properly, so I won't have the problem I had last time. Probably don't need as many as I'm putting on, but as I've got them, I might as well use them. It does even the tension out. My good friend Roger Boyden made all these things for me. I bought it in a pint last time, so I ain't buying him another one. Small. Okay, it's resting overnight, so it should be properly glued on. And just make sure that there's no gaps in the top and the side, and that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks absolutely fine. I'm going to take these small clamps off now. But first of all, just make sure there's no swarf on here. This top is, I think I've said before, it's an alpine spruce. It's quite soft, and just to make sure there's no swarf on there that's likely to damage it at all. Put this down, clip these off. What I wanted to do, ideally, was to actually fit the top and the back while the guitar was still in the mould, mainly to make sure that it didn't lose any of its shape. It should be okay. I mean, the crack, it's been in that mould for months, so it should really have adopted the shape of the mould, but I just didn't want it distorting in any way. Hopefully it hasn't, but what I'm going to do, I need to clean up the inside here, so I'm going to put it back in the mould just to give it a bit of extra strength while it's in there. I'll just get these off first. Okay, lovely. Now I'll just take the camera off the stand just to show you what we've got. I've had to refit the top, as you know, but it's worked out well. Everything looks pretty good. There's some cleaning up to do in here. A bit of glue run there, another little bit of glue run there, a little bit of sanding down needed, and I also need to fit this bit of reinforcing on there. This is the last chance I've got to clean up the inside, because as soon as I've done this, the back's going on, and that's it. It's sealed forever then. So I'm just going to try putting it in the mould, see if it'll still fit in. God hope it will. Yep, it's gone back in the mould fine. No gaps, no problems. So basically it's just a question of cleaning it up now, which I'm going to do. I won't bore you by letting you watch me do this for the next 2 hours. So I'll switch the camera off for a bit. Okay, it's all sorted now, it's all cleaned up inside. Me reinforcing pieces on. That's all ready now to fit the back, which is my next job. And once this is on, it's on. I can't. There's no room for any movement after this. Everything hopefully will be lined up square and everything will be straight. I'm not going to have the same problem I had me last time. It's just plucking up the courage to actually glue it on. I wonder if I should wait a bit. I think I might wait a little bit and just go through my head that I haven't forgotten anything vital that I needed to do. But I think it should be fine. I can't see any problems with it. That's where it starts. That's where it ends. You get the first clamp on. Try it dry first of all and have a look. But you won't want to watch this, so I'll switch it. Okay, I've just put it on dry just for now, just see whether it works, and it does. Everything works perfectly. So, question of gluing it on now. Question of gluing it on. I'm going to leave that for a bit. I'm going to have a cup of tea, go through it in the head, make sure I haven't left anything out. Inside looks lovely and clean. There's no problems at all as far as I can see. It is just a question of gluing it. Right, I'll just tell you what I'm doing. I need to be certain that the angle between there and there is a right angle. Okay, like that. That's pretty good, that is. You can see that. Let me just have a look. Lift it a wee bit. Yeah, I need to make sure that angle's the right angle there, which it is now. And the way I've done that is basically I'll put a little eye hook in here and one down there. I don't want to bring the back forward. The back's fine. The front here just needs to be brought in a bit. I hope this works. I've just made this idea up. I'll put an eye hook there and an eye hook there, and I've stenciled it up with some string, just to give me that angle that I need. And now I've glued me piece in there, the little bit of fabric, and if you can see that, just to strengthen that. This can go on, and then once this is on and glued, I can cut the string and just remove the eye hooks. So that's what I'm going to do. Give me a second. Okay, well, I'll just see when the camera's looking right first of all. Move it down a wee bit. Here we go. I've been psyching myself up for this. This is where the top goes on, or the back goes on. It is going to work, he said, but what you've got to remember is once the back's on and glued, you're going to be able to see any glue marks or any glue runs. There were runs on this one which I've cleaned off, well, reasonably well cleaned off. But once the actual back's fitted, it's going to be impossible to get the glue marks off. So I have to be really, really careful how I put the glue on. And what I'll do, I'll glue it on, clamp it up, and then turn it that way up, so the glue can't run that way down. It can only run backwards, and hopefully it will just settle in there, because I don't want it looking unsightly. So, time to go. I'll just have to really short the glue. I don't think I need much more on. I've got the bindings to do, so I will need some more glue. Bit of a scary moment really, this. Right, let's have a go. Doesn't matter if the glue runs on the outside, that really isn't a problem. But what we don't want it to do is run on the inside. Well, I think you're putting quite a thin layer on. The amount of squeeze out you get is phenomenal, really. Of course, the other thing is, with this kerfing, it tends to run down the slots, which is, you know, incredibly helpful, I must say. But obviously, you have enough glue to make sure it bloody sticks. It's all aesthetics. It doesn't make any difference to the sound of the thing. It's just the way it looks. And everybody knows the guitar looks nice. Psychologically, it plays nice as well. Now then, there's a lot of glue on there. Wipe it off. Wipe it off. Wipe it off. Right. Now then, I'll line up the centre with the centre there and the centre on the front piece, and it should work. But I'm going to clamp this one on first and take it all from there. And if I touch, make sure that's lined up square. It is. Screw that on, and then we'll put this one on. And the first couple on is always a little bit of a trial. Because it will literally only just fit on because of the bracing on the inside of the back. There we go. You may have heard that just click in place there. That's it. That's exactly where you want it. Right. Okay. That's it. Now, I'm going to turn it up this way to put the others on. Hopefully, it'll stop the glue running. This glue does take a while to go off, so it's not a desperate rush to do this. And I like to try and even it out, keep them do them opposite sides. Okay, so you can see how it's going to go. I'll switch the camera off and I'll show you. Okay, let's pull the spool clamps on. Lovely. It's all sealed up nicely around there. I don't think there's any gaps or anything like that. So all I've got to do now is give it 24 hours to dry. And then we can start, well, we start with the machine tools. Well, I say machine tools, I've only got one, which is the old Dremel. And I've got a few adapters for it, which I'm going to need for the next stages. And the next stage is basically going to be cutting this trim off the excess here, all the way around, top and bottom. And then it's a question of sanding it. Then I've got to cut in or route in the binding channels. Now, the binding channels, there's two lots we have to do. This is like a purfling which has got to go on, which is going to look rather nice. And there's also some. There's this binding I've got. I've had this for a while actually. I'm wondering what to use it on. This is, I don't know if you can see that. That is rosewood and maple laminated together. And this goes around the edge of the guitar. I've got to bend it. I've got to steam bend it to the right shape. The other stuff was easy to do. I could do that with a hairdryer. But I think this might be a little bit more challenging. But I steam bend it to shape, and that goes all the way around the top edge and around the bottom edge. And I'll probably put it that way around, so it just gives a nice little detail in the guitar once it's fitted on. So then those are some of the jobs I've got coming up. I've also got to cut this hole here. There's already a slot behind there in the neck block for the dovetail, so I've got to cut that out, cut this out, cut the spacer there so I can slot the neck in with the truss rod, because the truss rod sticks out a bit, as you can see, so that's going to have to slot straight in. There's a fair bit of work to do, but I think once this has gone off, once this is dry, this is another one of those little crucial jobs. I think that's going to be okay. This holds it in place, and it takes up the shape of the guitar. This is what this does. But when you put the binding on, you cut a channel out and you glue this on, so you get another layer of adhesive, if you like, and another layer of glue, which will reinforce any glue that's on there or anything that's not 100%. But that's all a fair bit in the future yet. Okay.